Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears! Last time, we explored Solaris and made our way to... I don't even know. Here we are in the second class part of the city of Antronach in Solaris here. And you're dancing, and... How the hell did Joe get up here? I don't even know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, for whatever reason... Joe just seems to be everywhere. Oddly enough, for a character who seems to have absolutely nothing to do with anything, he gets character development later on and we actually learn something about him. Go figure. But that's like right at the end of the game. Real plans. Wow, that is a huge amount of control they have. That is crazy. Oh, don't teach that to children. No, please no. Okay then. I guess that's that dancing doll thing. Yeah. He basically wants a stripper. Nothing else to add to that, just, you know, a stripper. Why not? You know, as soon as they come up with, you know, ways to do that, ways to get a... Well, what's even the word for it? I'm forgetting now. Yeah, no. Yeah, so basically this is some additional information about the memory cubes, and all of the information that you save there goes to the Central Control Bureau. That's not good. So I guess if I use save states, then they don't actually know where I am, right? No, but if they can get holographic strippers, you know, and, you know, make it economically viable for the average person to get it, there are going to be a lot of people buying this, and it's going to be like a huge market. This is the way of the world. They can't halt aging, huh? Well, he's managed to do that over in Shivat. Apparently, the young queen is 500 plus years old. I don't know. Anyway, this is the one we need to talk to. She came to see the Emperor and strained her back. Cure anything but a bad back. And aging, apparently. Go figure. Anyway, we should go see it. Sure, you don't have to find out that you need tickets in order to come up here and get them. Yeah, Homeo Vision, I guess, is their TV service or whatever. But, yeah. You have to come up here to the second floor in order to get the tickets, in order to progress with the plot. Now, once we do progress with the plot, I don't think there's a whole lot we get to do today as far as actually getting things done. Just like coming into this building, you have to be on the right side, otherwise the door won't open. Because it's got a turnstile, I guess. Reasons, whatever. Anyway, let's pop back over here to the guard, who wouldn't let us by before. Now that we have a ticket, we can head through. So let's do that. Let's talk to the Emperor. Only changed the theme. There's a lot of people to talk to. Luckily, we don't have to talk to any of them. Yeah, this entire sequence is automated. And then we get a little bit of something to do, if I remember correctly, and then we get more talking. Now, I know a lot of this game is talking, and it is very, very plot-heavy game. Now, some people may or may not like that. I personally do like it. A lot of people complained about the first Xenosaga game, saying that there wasn't really anything to do, it was just mostly a huge cutscene, and there are a shit ton of cutscenes in that game, just like there are a shit ton of cutscenes in this game. That can make for a great story, though. Now, some people look at video games, specifically JRPGs, as, you know, they're either in it for the story, the music, or the gameplay. I personally go with the previous two. But let's talk about this guy. This guy we saw before, he's, whatever his name is, Emperor Cain, actually, whether they say it here or not. But he was the one talking to Satan multiple times throughout the game. And of course, he's making everything seem like it's all right and all that stuff. What are you talking about? God's paradise, the sleeping mother god. Immortality. Open the door to Manhan, or however you pronounce that. The place where God rests. They've mentioned this before, and that basically is what it is in mythology. What it is in the game, that's kind of how they've described it, and to an extent that works. Beyond that, we'll see later. What kind of power do you guys have? Well, they have the power of... Okay, we're going to talk first. I thought they were just going to go straight to it. They have the power of... Drum roll, please. Yeah, fireworks. They have the power of fireworks. I guess that would help to calm a little bit. I don't know. This just seems kind of strange, but oh well. She's zoning out. I wonder why. Yeah, they are a little noisy. Ellie? What's going on here? Is she one of those who really likes Emperor Cain as well? And here we have Krellian. Ah, there we are. I think this is the first time that our characters have met him. He's the real leader, Solaris. So Cain is very much like the Queen of England in our, reality. It's, a figurehead that really doesn't hold a whole lot of power. Krellian is kind of like the Prime Minister to Cain being as the Emperor to a Queen kind of deal. At least in, the UK, or... Is that strictly in England? I don't know. Well, why do I feel something seems familiar? Presence I've not felt since... And in this sense, that reference makes more sense than you realize, unless you've played this game before. Keep the spoilers out of the comments, please. It's one game. There's a lot of games you don't want spoilers for. This is one that it just ruins everything, so please keep them out of the comments there if you do want to say anything. Why is Faye back here? I don't even remember this scene. What? Why does he have blue Lacan? Now, if you remember way back when, I don't know if I'll remember to put images up, but we had that scene in the back of the Nissan Cathedral where we saw the painter, and the painter that we saw was referred to by the title Lacan, and he looked a lot like Faye. He was painting a portrait of Sophia, the mother of the Nissan religion. Now, what's going on here? Yeah, so this guy who looks identical to Faye is named Lacan, or Lacan, whatever. And he seems to know Krellian. Yeah, if you're... Actually, never mind, they haven't said that yet. I keep thinking that they did part of that cutscene way earlier in the game, but they didn't. In fact, I think I referenced part of the cutscene that wasn't actually there a couple of different times so far. So if I went and confused you more, I'm sorry about that. I will try and remember what happened earlier in the game versus what happens later in the game a little better. Now, they have mentioned, at least I'm pretty sure they've mentioned, that at one point Krellian was not part of Solaris. He actually fought against them. And, well, I'll leave them to explain the rest of it. They don't really do that here, but in due time we will see enough flashbacks to explain enough, and I will try and fill in all the gaps that I can. But why are we getting this cutscene now? Faye is remembering somebody else's interaction with Krelian who knows how long ago? What teacher? Melchior, one of the 3 gurus of Shabbat. Yeah. I think they mentioned that in Shivat that Krelian did study under one of them. What he studied, I'm not sure if they've mentioned. We will learn in due time. And it is plot related. Go figure. Everything, well, not everything, but so much of this game, the little bits here and there, everything kind of relates back to the plot in some way or another. And apparently Krelian has kind of made a bit of a change from someone who didn't read to someone who's reading 3 books a day. Well, he beats the crap out of me. I read 3 books a year. And that's because I read slowly. And I can't sit down in one position or multiple positions for more than like an hour while reading. Otherwise, I get a stiff neck, or a stiff back, or my arms want to fall asleep, or some other excuse. Art of War. No, not the actual book, but... Are you now? Well, this is good. What did he put his heart into before? Yes, you have your studying, your pursuit of knowledge. You're enjoying that, your pursuit of reading. And Lacan can paint. I'm sure he's enjoying that. To some extent. And what the hell is this? What did you complete? How is 2 tubes of green goo going to save anybody? What about Sophia? What's going on? Game? It's just random flashback that has nothing to do with Faye, and we get that in the middle of this, and then they don't explain anything. Great job, game! They really do keep you coming back for more. Like, you can't put this game down. You have to go through it, and you have to get to the point where you figure out what the hell is going on. In fact, I recently had that with Season 2 of an anime, where I kept watching more and more episodes to try and figure out what the hell was going on, and then it ended, and I still had no idea what was going on. It was very strange. Considering the first season made perfect sense. Well, and not as much sense as you can expect from anime. Okay, reinforcing that. How do they know we're here? We're not here to assassinate everybody. Is there somebody else here? Caught? We're kind of right here. Now, I said earlier that our other comrades broke in at a different point. Yeah, they're captured. Don't yell, numbnuts. What are you doing? He looks like a land dweller. Everyone has said as much. I don't think it's anything new to anyone around here that he is. I guess they expect him to be a third-class citizen that just happened to know them, but, yeah. What else do you have to say? Now, what they're kind of showing off here is Ellie's actually translating. Solaris has a different language from the rest of, you know, our party members. Whatever language they speak, they never really mention it, but the Gazelle have their own language, or rather Solaris does. The Soylent system. Now, they haven't talked about this, I think, at all yet, and I will leave Satan to explain this because he'll do a better job than anyone else. And how do you revive Gazelle? Now, in this case, I think Ellie explains it, yes. Gazelle are the purebred of Solaris. The word means first-class citizens. However, in this case, they mean the Gazelle Ministry. Long ago, they lost their fleshy bodies in order to protect the Solarian people. Solarian, not Solaris people. That's... Anyway. But yeah, they... Remember all of those dudes in the big Borg sphere, the computer? They are the Gazelle Ministry, as I mentioned before. Now, what they did is they all lost their bodies in a conflict at some point. I can't remember off the top of my head. It may have been the Diabolus conflict, but either way, they lost their bodies and they were revived in the SOL 9000 computer that they're in now. However, I believe only 8 of the 12 members were revived at that time. The other 4 were lost forever. There's always plenty of experiments in these games. Yeah, we want to figure out what's going on and then, you know, come up with a good plan and then go in. Stop trying to run into the problem like Bart would. Just that statement alone made me think of the Simpsons movie where Bart had to go skateboarding naked because I think Homer dared him to, and then he got splatted on the window at Krusty Burger, and Ned Flanders and his kids were looking directly at a flattened, face first Bart Simpson right on the glass. And I think there was a well-positioned burger or a fry. Anyway. So we got 2 days to find out how to get these guys out of there so they don't end up screwed. Well, they could, but they just said they weren't going to, and since they kind of need the good publicity, I'm sure they'll be doing all this publicly. Oh yeah, so we do have Satan still. That's good. Why would Satan know it better than you, and how do you know that he knows it better? I can understand him knowing the third class area better, but she would know the first class, and they both were in Jugan, the military academy, and so I'm sure they both know that equally well. Oh crap. Guards! It's because you keep shouting, not raising your voice. He's been yelling the entire time. Do subject, or suspects, not subjects. Same thing. Everyone's a subject to the Solaris government, I'm sure. And this scene is automatic. You can't do anything about this. Please stop all action. Investigating. Yeah, they have guard robot things here. That's pretty cool. Was that suicide? Game? How come everybody in these games has to jump off things in a cutscene at some point, even though that should probably kill them, but can't jump anywhere else? In most games. At least in this game, you can do a little bit of jumping. Okay. Yeah, we jumped into another sewer level. This one has no random battles. This one, well, let's see. It was just so sudden that we jumped. Gotta get moving. Yeah, they are. What might you be able to do? Let's try and run through here, and we'll run right to the end, and then we'll magically be where we need to be. Anyway, let's go to equipment real quick here. Let's give you a crimson vest and a feathered cap. That will help you out quite a bit. You don't need any of this stuff because it's not really going to help you all that much. Keep her on the dark rod for here, you might as well. Now, kind of watch as you go. You're going to need to kind of dodge in and out of certain areas. No. And yeah, Basically, these things will chase you throughout the entire area, and you'll be forced to fight them whenever they come in contact with you. Not to mention, they are fast. Additionally, there is a certain strategy for taking these guys down. Now, I would recommend going with your elemental death blows because they either have a physical armor or a magical armor. And since these elemental death blows use both, a lot of the times you can take them down in one go. Now, I believe I haven't shown off Aqua Frost yet. So let's take a look at this. I think I've shown off a lot of the other elemental death blows. And I think she just barely took them out. She can't always take them down in one shot, so sometimes you have to go again. They can go after you with elemental damage as well, so kind of be aware of that. Or not they can, you have to sometimes go against them. No, doesn't matter, climb. I'll probably just cut the rest of those fights out since they're all the same anyway. Anyway, go this way, and then grab this. Crimson Vest, run! No! Alright, no, run over here. You want to go through this area as fast as you can, really, because it does take a good amount of time, and they do run into you quite easily. I'm pretty sure the total HP that they have is... Yeah, there's some bars here, so you have to kind of walk across them. And hopefully we can get across there. There we go. If you fall down, you'll have to climb back up the ladder, which leads to the backside of that particular part of the area. You could keep fighting these guys, and by the way, they have 180 HP total, I believe. And they do give 2,000 gold for each battle if you care to do that. I think once you come up here, I think you're stuck up here. Can you go back down? No, you're stuck up here now. Anyway, where exactly are we? We're in a place that's probably far too fortuitous for where it should be. Oh, we're in the first class level. They probably wouldn't look for us here. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, probably. Yeah, they gave us a little too good of a location to be left at. Yeah, Ellie lives in a mansion, by the way. Yeah, definitely first class. Anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.